humans not equal by birth. Means some, it is the matter of social privileges. Means some families get a special right. By birth, someone born in noble family or high caste family. This was the matter of many learned texted person. We related here to Varna system. The Varna system was started during Vedic period. Means the people believe that the idea. Which idea they believe that? They believe that all humans not equal by birth. There was the matter of social privileges. It's right. Social privileges means that some people get a special right. Someone born in a noble family by birth or high caste. Here is the matter of caste level. These social classes, there are mainly in Vedic period. The class system was started in Vedic period. There were 4 varnas there. The first is Brahmans, second is Kshatriya, third is Vaishya, and 4 is Shudra. These social classes system was started in Vedic period. Initially, the peoples, this were identified by their work, their occupation, but later, gradually, these were divided into their by birth, and the people was not satisfied. People were not satisfied such these ideas. Why they are not satisfied? Suppose some child born in Brahman's family, he took special right. Some born in Shudra's family, he is not allowed to enter the temple. The special education, special rights was given only the high caste matter in noble family. So this idea, the many people were not satisfied. So they turned to the Buddhism and Jainism. All of you know that Buddhism and Jainism, the origin of Buddhism and Jainism in ancient period. What we learn in Buddhism and Jainism? Buddha. You know, all of you know the Buddha? Yes. Jainism. Buddha, yes, Gautam Buddha was the founder of Buddhism. This and Jainism in the 21st Tirthankar of this is Mahavir. The people turned towards the teaching of Buddha and Jaina. What was the teaching of Buddha and Jaina? Buddha told people the world is full of sorrow. You go everywhere, the world is full of sorrow. You fold 8 paths. Eightfold, he told. Which eightfolds he told? Right speech, right intention, right mindfulness, and told to respect all living things. Buddha said the life is full of sorrow. People were not happy with their worldly lives. He told the path which eightfold is told. Samyak Jnana, Samyak Darshan, like this. Right intention, right speech, rightfulness, right truthfulness. This all told Buddha. That's why some people turn to Buddhism and Jainism. What Jainism told? Non-violence, 5 oaths, 5 tenets. The first is Satya, Ahimsa, Aparigraha, Asteya, Brahmacharya. Means truthfulness, non-violence, not stealing. This all. What he said? Mahavir told the people to love all living things. Don't accept anything returns of others. You sacrifice your all for God. That's why there are 2 saints in Sant Mahavir's time, Jainism. Is that Shwetambar? Those who wear white clothes, we call them Shwetambar. And the Tarun Sagarji, all of you know the Tarun Sagarji? Yes. We observe his speeches, his kirtans, all things in YouTube. This Tarun Sagar is a Shwetambar saint. So what Jainism told? Jainism told, don't accept, leave all things, sacrifice in your clothes also. You devote yourself to God. That's why the people turn to the Buddhism and Jainism. Who came? We can break the bondage of birth and rebirth, the cycle of birth. This Buddhism and Jainism, what they told? They told that we can break the bondage. Which bondage? Bondage of means birth and again the complete cycle of birth and rebirth. Birth, rebirth. Birth, rebirth. Same bondage. Means this all we go to the salvation. This Buddha and Jain told that you can grow the bondage of birth, rebirth, and through which personal efforts. How break this? Personal efforts. In personal efforts means his ways, how to reach God. We follow if their views, their preaching, how to reach God, we can easily break the bondage of birth and rebirth. We can free, we can sacrifice our everything to God. It shows that the devotional, devoted to God. Personal efforts, we took personal efforts. Personal effort means we follow the 5 paths of Mahavirs and we also efforts of Buddhism. If you follow them, we can easily break the bondage of birth and rebirth. Some peoples, this time in that period, some peoples also attracted the idea of one supreme God. One supreme God. Some followed this Buddhism and Jainism, but some peoples they attracted the idea of one supreme God. What one supreme God? The whole thing, the whole devotional path is go to direct salvation. Means you devote yourself to God without accept any returns. Overall, this all told. But some peoples attracted the idea of one supreme God. Means you can deliver humans. How human delivers? When you devote yourself to God, when you do bhakti. Bhakti is so important. Without accept any returns. This also tell Bhagavad Gita. All of you know Bhagavad Gita. Yes, this is very pure and religious books. We are respect Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. Sri Krishna told Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. In Bhagavad Gita, many message is given Krishna to common people also. In Bhagavad Gita, what say? Bhagavad Gita said, you devote yourself to God. God, supreme God, is focus on only God. God don't want anything. God not accept in your fruits, flowers, sweets. No. Karma Siddhas is told in Bhagavad Gita. Work is worship. You do your duty, be honestly, without accept any returns. And Bhagavad Gita tell others, you take only my name, Sri Krishna, like that. I don't want nothing, your any returns in any way. This told in Bhagavad Gita. That's why this idea became popular in common era, this period. Then the one supreme God idea. The people worship different goddess. Which are that? The first, the people worship Shiv. 3 goddesses given here. Shiv, Vishnu, and Durga. People worship, people attracted to the one supreme God, this idea, and they worship Shiv, Vishnu, Durga as a supreme deities. Someone like worship of Shiv, someone devoted Shiv, someone like worship of Vishnu, someone like worship of Durga. These 3, the people worship these 3 goddesses as the deity of super God, supernatural God. But how? In different area, they worship in different identities. For example, Vishnu. The Vishnu have 10 incarnation. The people worship 3 goddesses, but in the matter of that, in the same time, but the people worship the same goddess in different areas with different identities. We took example here. We take example Vishnu. For example, Vishnu have 10 incarnation. All of you know. Just before next week we celebrate Sri Ram Navami. The best incarnation of this Vishnu's Sri Ram. So the people, suppose I like Krishna, I worship Krishna. Someone like Swami Samartha, they also worship Swami Samartha. But Swami Samartha was the incarnation of Shiva. It is related to idea of one supreme God. Some people worship their idea of their own gods. Someone thought the God has no shapes. God is without shapes. They worship only sun because nature form of God. Like this, the people worship of God in different areas with a different identities. And in identities like Shiv, Vishnu, Durga. Shiv has more Shivs, Bhadra, Rudra, Bholenath. This incarnation of Shiv. Vishnu's, all of you know, Vishnu have 10 incarnation. Krishna, Ram, Vaman, this all. Some as their own mind, their idea, they can worship these forms of God. Durga, in Kolkata, Durga, there is identified Kali. In Durga, we direct worship of Durga. Like this, the people's worship of God, different areas of their own different identities. And that time, the local might, then local legends, local cult. Now the matter of local minds in vain. They worship different areas of identity of different god. That's why the local cult was emerged, came forward. Local mind. For example, in our Nevasa, there is a temple of Sant Naneshwar. In this temple, just now, before a 20 or 30 decade, this built. Who built? Tambe Maharaj. But before there is a Paiskam. This is the local myth. Sant Naneshwar wrote Naneshwari by Satyananda Baba. In which century? 12th century. 12th century. This was the local myth, and this local myth legends became the part of Puranic stories. We listen this Puranic story in our house, our grandmother, grandfather, this all. How when that time in 12th century, Sant Naneshwar wrote Naneshwari in temple Nevasa. This is a very famous temple in Maharashtra also and in our India also. In 12th century, Satyananda Baba wrote Naneshwari. Why he wrote Naneshwari? Because common people not understand Sanskrit language, Bhagavad Gita. So common people understand Marathi well. He transferred Bhagavad Gita in Marathi. That's why he wrote Naneshwari near Nevasa. In Nevasa. There is Paiskam. We also in Ekadashi, even day of Ekadashi, we visited there, we took darshan, we devoted ourselves to that God. It shows what they saw, this local mind, legends, and like this local cult emerged. Local cult means one. This Warkari Sampradaya. In Maharashtra, local cult Warkari Sampradaya is very famous. When it's Ashadha Ekadasi, they devoted all saints in Maharashtra, they devoted Vitthal. This temple is in Pandharpur. That time the local cult which is that Warkari Sampradaya. Cult means Panth. Warkari Sampradaya. This emerged in that. For example, the Krishna in worship in everywhere in different entities. For example, in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Krishna is same, but we worship Balaji as form of Krishna. The idol is different, the deities is different, the color is different, but the God is one, God is same. There is local cult. Mirabai. She was the devotee of Krishna in Rajasthan. She was the daughter of King Mewad. She devoted herself to Krishna. Krishna is one, but he worship in different areas in different identities. The Krishna is present in Pandharpur in form of Vitthal. Say the local cults in that period. They are in Andhra Pradesh. The Balaji, the people's worship Balaji, they devoted to Balaji. That is local cult. Understand? In local cult, see, in we live in Bheda, there is temple of Sant Nage Baba. Nage Baba was a devotee of Shiv. Shiv also temple is there. This is our town's local legends, local cult. Means that this local cult. Understand? The local myth, legends and local cult. The best known example is I give you Sri Chakradhar Swami. He was the original prince of Gujarat. He came in Maharashtra to preach his teaching in Maharashtra. Which cult he established in Maharashtra? Mahanubhav sects. Mahanubhav sects. This is local cult in Maharashtra, and these local cults became a very famous. Nowadays also this famous Mahanubhav cult. They also devoted to Krishna. It is matter of Puranic stories, and we find this in our Puranic story. How we know that this local legend? How we know the narrator came in 12th century Nevasa? How we know? Because they became the part of Puranic story. They became the part of Puran. There are 18 Puran in Hindu religions. I not take all names, but 2 or 3 texts. Bhagavad Puran, Vishnu Puran, Shiv Puran, Garud Puran. In Puran, we read. We not presented that Shiv, Vishnu and Durga type. How we collect information there? We collect information through these Puranic stories. Puran. We go through the books. Understand local myth, legends and local cult. Yes, that time this movement, the local cults, local legends. Bhakti is nothing. Bhakti is only how to devote yourself to God, how to salvation, how to free from all bondage of your worldly life. When we are living life, we have many responsibilities. But the one part of society, one part our own. So it is our responsibility to devote yourself to God. Suppose I want to go Kashi. I know people of know Kashi. Yes, but which way? Someone tell I want to go Kashi by train. Someone tell I want to go Kashi by bus. Okay. Someone tell I want to Kashi by aeroplane. Aeroplane. Like this. But everyone want to go Kashi. The path is different. The idea is one's supreme God. God is one. He presented everywhere. And this told in this lesson devotional path. Different paths told different sets. This understand? The idea of Supreme God, this topic. Understand what we learn in this topic? We learn the origin of idea of Supreme God. It came in Gupta period. People initially worship of God. Then idea came forward. Which idea? The people's all living thing not equal by birth. People passes the countless cycle of birth and rebirth. This all thing which shows that we to grow through salvation, we sacrifice ourselves to a God. The next topic, how the Bhakti movements started South India. The kinds of bhakti. Kinds of bhakti in South India. The first bhakti movement is started in South India. Kinds of bhakti mean types of bhakti. I told that there are 2 types of bhakti. I mainly told you that Sagun Bhakti and Nirgun Bhakti. But some sense is given this topic, that the Nainar and Alwas. 2 South Indian sons were told here. 2 communities told here. The first is Nainars. In which century? This is in 7th and 8th century. The new kinds of bhakti is starting in South India. The first is Nainars. And second is Alwas. And second is South India. The movement of South India, the first start Bhakti movements. Nainas. Who was the Nainas and who was the Alvars? The Nainas was the sons who devoted Shiv. The Nainas. Must we understand who were the Nainas and Alvars? The Nainas was those saints they devoted Shiv. Devotee to Shiv. And Alvars are those saints they devoted Vishnu. Devotee to Vishnu. These two sons, Nainas devoted to Shiv, Alvars devoted to Vishnu. These two sons, these two communities of sons in South India became very famous during a 7th and 8th century. First, this Naina and Alvars they came forward different classes. They belonging to untouchable community. In that, the two communities came forward. This the Peri River and these two sons came from two untouchable communities. That the Pule River and the second is Penar. These two communities belong to untouchability. Pulias and Panas. These two is well-known community in this Nainas and Alvars. These Pulias and Panas. They told the direct devotions to the God. These Nainas devoted Shiv and Alvars devoted to Vishnu. These two communities is in backward classes, mean untouchable. What is by untouchable? Means the peoples did not that time. Some community did not have rights, rituals like. That's why in Alvars and Nainas these two sons included with all classes of society. Initially some peoples they criticized Buddhism and Jainism. Why they criticize Buddhism and Jainism? Because in Buddhism and Jainism, some peoples, common people, not followed their views. It was very hard to follow it. For example, it told 8 folds. 5 Mahavir told 5 tenets: Satya, Ahimsa, Parigraha, Asteya, Brahmacharya. Truthfulness, non-violence, all things. And 8 folds means mindfulness, right mindfulness, right speech, right truthfulness, all. Means the common people not follow the Buddhism. They criticize. These Nainas and Alvars saints criticize Buddhism and Jainism's teaching. Buddha told the world is full of sorrow, but common people not follow this idea. They had some work. They not get any time to like Buddha and Jainism's work. So they directly speak. You directly connect with Shiv or Vishnu. You direct your devotion these two deities. Nainas devoted Shiv and Alvars devoted Vishnu. What they said? They said in their teachings, you direct connect to God. Don't take any preaching path. Don't follow any path. You direct devote yourself God. And this mainly told these two community of that. Then the ideal and heroism in found where it was found the ideal. The bhakti is ideal and heroism found in Alvar and Nainas in Sangam literature. This Sangam literature is very well known literature in ancient period. Means during in early period. Sangam literature. What we found in Sangam literature? This Sangam literature is written by very earlier period. In that literatures, we found the ideal and heroisms of some books which is related to religious. For example, that Shilpadikaram, Manimekalai, Tirukullaram. These books written in Tamil language, and in these books the main themes, main ideas is told religious idea. So this Sangam literature we found that how to love God, devotion of God, devoted yourself to God. The Alwar and Nainar sons, they visited. Understand Sangam literature? The Sangam literature, the origin of Sangam literature during the 1st and 3rd century. And that time, the many books written in that literature. We find some books. For example, Shilpadikaram, Tirukullar, Mani Meklai. These books told about religious. And in these books, they also spoke about ideal and heroisms of the stories of God. It shows to connect ourselves to God, devote ourselves to God. These Nainas and Alwars, these two sons, they visited from one place to another place. For what? They composed different songs to praise the deity of gods. They also set musics on their poems, their compositions. Alwars and Nainar. Who were the Alwars? Alwars devoted Shiv and Nainas devoted Vishnu. They, in that period, early common era, they visited from place to place. They preached people. They composed various poems to praise the God, and they set musics on there. Now next topic, we learn the Nainas. How many Nainas in that period? Nainas. Total, this book is given 63 Nainas. 63 Nainar saints. They belong to different background classes in that untouchables life. Untouchables means peasants was there, worker, soldier, Brahmins, soldier chiefs, etc. All. In Nainas, there are in these books, this chapter is given 63 Nainas. They came from different backgrounds, including that untouchable communities there. Peasants, all of the peasants included them, workers included them, soldiers included them, then Brahmins also included them. The worships of God direct. Nainas devoted devoted to Shiv. In between 63, the someone was well-known Nainas, well-known. Some are the very famous Nainas. And which are that Nainas? The Upper, Samandaram, Sundarar and Manikav Sagar. The four, among these 63, the 4 Nainar saints were very famous. And then in that, the 4's name is given in textbook. Which are that? Upper, Samandaram, Sundaram and Manikav Sagar. The Manikav Sagar was a very famous Nainar saint. He composed a poem. It's dedicated to Shiv. It is melodious. He composed, Manikav Sagar composed 2 poems. Who was Manikav Sagar? Manikav Sagar, the Nainar saints. He devoted to Shiv. Mani, sir, spelling.
Yes.
Spelling learning.
Yes.
Manika Sagar. He was Nainar saints. He devoted himself to Shiv. He, in his contribution of poem, he dedicated this poem to Shiv. Which poem? To Tevaram and Tiruvakkam. 2 sets of his poems. The first is Tevaram. And second is, which is that Tiruvakkam. In 9th, when it was happened? During the 9th century. This time, this 9th time, these 2 poems is composed in Tamil language, Tamil literature, called Tamil literature. Tiruvakkam. This Manikav Sagar was very famous Nainar saints. He composed two sets of his poem, Tevaram and Tiruvakam. In his two sets of poems, he himself spoke about Shiv. He praised Shiv. He dedicated all this poem to Shiv. We know because of this how the Naina saints devoted Shiv. They devoted himself to Shiv. The total is all the whole theme of this chapter is religious things. How the religious was developed in medieval period, and one part. The first part in South India. After South India, then how they came in Maharashtra. These two sons, Manikausan and Dev. The way one famous poem is given in that topic. He said, I flesh into my body, God. O God, O grace, please, sorrow and death, and free from me all bondage of this life. Free, make me free. This from the cycle of birth, sorrow, birth and death. You can free me from this bandage. O God, flesh into my body. You came in my body, you take me. You came in my body, you take me, and you made me free from sorrow, birth and death and all illusions. This told in Manikausan. Understand this Naina son? The next is Alvars. Who was Alvars? Next. Alvars. In which sense we are in Alvars with to teach now? Alvars. All of you know the Alvars. Yes, Alvars is devoted to Vishnu. There are 12 Alvar saints. There are 12 Alvar saints. They also came in divergent background. Divergent background is the untouchable sin, like that. I explain you what is meant by untouchable. These are how many Alvars? 12 Alvars. These Alvar saints. They also came from the society different in divergent backgrounds like untouchable. Among them, between them, there are two Alvar saints here, Peri Alvars and Tondaryupoddi Alvars. The two Alvar saints named here. The first is Peri Alvar and the second is Tondaryupoddi Alvar. There are 12 Alvars. They also.
Third one is there, no?
Yes, sir.
Something.
She is daughter, Peri Alvar's daughter, Anda, sir. I am not Anda. I am not explaining now. Then I explain that. There are mainly two Alvars, Peri Alvars and Tondaryupoddi Alvars. In this, Peri Alvar's daughter also in that time saints. His name was Anda. This what we understand is in that period, the no discrimination of gender also. Anda is the daughter of Peri Alvar, means woman saints also there, and in men saints also there. In Alvars, they devoted Vishnu, but there is no matter of discriminations between men and women. These things keep in mind. This is at the 9th century. Nowadays we also discrimination men and women. We listen many things women and these are all rights get women. But in that period, in 9th century, the Peri Alvars, her daughter, she's name is Andor, and she also the saints in Alvar. These two. Their composition. Now composition.
Stop.
Thank you.
And now you talk regarding what you talk. What is your? Are you happy, unhappy, sad after teaching?
I am quite happy. Quite not. Some grammatical mistake was there, sir.
Yeah.
When I speaking, I am not. I speak, but I am not trying to speak very well. I try my best. What will happen? I don't know. I give my best.
I will close it now.